Well, hello and welcome to Miracles, Music, and Paw Prints. I'm your host, Sue London. Gotta say, I'm really excited to have you here today with me because I am going to answer a question that a lot of people are asking me for the answer. And that question is, how do I develop my intuition to connect to my pet at a deeper level, just like you do, Sue? So this is what I want to do today in this episode is I want to share with you 3 things in the first part of what you can do right away. I'm going to share a channeled song. And then in the third part, I'm going to give you tools that you can do going forward that will help you to develop your intuition stronger. Now, before I give you these 3 tools, I want to tell you that everybody has the ability to tap into their intuition. And I would say that majority of people in our world are not doing that. So just know if you're thinking, I don't know, can I do this? Absolutely, yes, you can. Everyone has this ability. Now, I was born with this, and I've always seen the other side. I get messages from this side, from the other side. I see the other side. I feel them. I hear them. I hear them like I would be if I were talking to you. I hear it in my mind. I have dreams come to me. I have dreams come to me that are from people who just cross saying, help my loved one, and here's what I need you to do. I have pets that come to me after they cross, and I see their crossings. So there's a lot of abilities that I'm doing in my life for myself, for my family, for my pets, as well as helping clients and during my talks. And a prime example, I use my intuition to ask my angels, your guides. I have a whole team with me that help me to help you. All right. And I listen to that daily. So number 1 is you want to listen to the thoughts that you are having. Okay. Number 2, it's really important what people don't realize when you're told to do movement or exercise, what the reason is for that. Now, when you include movement in your day, and when I say movement, that could be walking, could be yoga, could be Tai Chi, could be kickboxing, could be any sport that you are moving and flowing and moving that negative energy out of you and clearing blocks. It could be walking in nature. Okay, walking in nature is phenomenal for you. Okay, being in sunlight, very important, very, very healing for you. Okay, and so when you get moving, whatever that is, again, walking, Tai Chi, yoga, any sport, riding your bike, doing biking, right? That will, if you have absorbed any negative energy, that movement will clear that from you. So it's kind of like doing a detox on your body, let's say. It's clearing the blocks that are being created, perhaps when you have gone somewhere and picked up negative energy. As simple as going to a store and somebody was negative there, or someone in your household was having a bad day and were a little bit grumpy, and you might have taken that on and been then starting to get grumpy yourself and negative. Okay, you could be in your car and maybe there was some road rage happening, or you're experiencing listening to the news and getting upset over that. And let's face it, there's not good positive stuff really in news right now, right? So these are ways how your body will absorb it. Okay, now keeping in mind too, your pet is absorbing all of this energy too. So if you have a pet on this side, because some of you are coming to me sharing, well, my pet's cross, I want to connect. But those of you that have a pet on this side, you want to get them out walking with you as well, because that's helping them to clear energy as well. Okay, so movement. Movement is very important. I incorporate movement in every day I have. When I work with somebody, they might be having a difficult challenge or going through a difficult time. I love people. I love helping them. I love animals. And I have to be very mindful that I don't take that on. So when I finish with clients or, before in the morning I go outside, I will go out and I will do movement, a lot of times walking. I might go to the gym and just ride the bike. I do different things. Okay. Tai Chi. I love Tai Chi. And I never thought I would say that. Years ago, I thought, how can people go so slow? I didn't understand that. But it was just phenomenal of how much I just love the movement in that now. See, I'm even doing it just thinking about it. So, okay, so movement is number one. So number two is healthy eating. Now, what people don't realize is that eating is really a part of growing, developing your intuition. Because think about it. When you go through a fast food drive-through, and you have like a greasy hamburger, greasy fries, high sugar drink. In Canada, we call it pop. America, you might call it soda. Other countries might call it something else, right? So the sugar drinks or the energy drinks. Okay, the energy drinks can give you this like high and then drop, right? So sugar is very bad for you. Okay. The fast food makes you come home and go, I just want to lay down. What was I doing? I feel horrible. My stomach feels horrible. Right. And maybe you don't even realize you're feeling that. So that will affect the energy flowing through you. And you won't have the energy to be able to be mindful in the present moment to feel or see or hear or even think about what's coming to you. So eating is very important. Your diet is very important. Now, one thing that I do is I make everything from scratch. Okay. I recently had gone through cancer, right? So I had a healthy diet before, and never had sugar or like anything chemical, no preservatives, but I've really kicked it up a notch even more where I'm, being mindful of what I'm using for my cooking. Like I use an Instant Pot because more nutrients stay in that, okay, versus barbecuing where, there's carcinogenics in there too that can contribute to cancer. Now, when I say that comment, just know I am not an expert on a dietitian or anything like that. I'm just sharing my personal journey, but also common sense that there's a lot of stuff that people are eating now, right? And chemicals, there's so much chemicals and preservatives in food. So when you're buying things that you pick or things that you dig out of the ground, right? That's going to be healthy. And if you're getting it from a farm, all right, there's a lot of farms now, depending where you live, that you can go to these places and get foods that doesn't have the chemical spray on it, right? So all of these, it might sound strange, but all of these things can really add up to affecting your intuition, okay? So I make everything from scratch. Yes, it takes time, but it also will drop your grocery bill. Let me tell you, if that's some inspiration for you. And if you're overweight, can find you start losing weight. Okay. So you're not eating all of the all-purpose flour and these different things, the sugar. Okay. You have to be kind of mindful wherever you live, what your dairy is like, right? In Canada, we're pretty good with, the products that we get with our meat. I can get nitrate-free meat, guaranteed, no GMOs as well in this different meat. So that's quality foods that I'm eating, right? So you want to ask these questions. I go to this hub in my area where I live, and it's this place where I go is called smallscalefarms.ca. You can check that out. But if you live in Ontario, Canada, that's a great place to go because the farmers come to this place, they bring their crops and the meat from, the butchering they do, and where it's coming from, and they tell you what they've done. They tell you, what is in the meat, and it's, GMO free, and it's like nitrate free in this list. And I can eat all that food and feel really energized. And you should feel energized when you eat your food. You shouldn't feel tired and sluggish and crappy. Okay. So quality, healthy food, no sugar, and that includes these drinks, okay, as well as no preservatives, okay, because these things will create blocks in your body. Okay. Now, if you want to take it a step further, ladies, I'm dressing now, is that I even, I had a time in my life where I'd had a surgery done on me when I was 17 years old, and had to have this bone removed from my foot. And years later, I was 17, and then when I turned 50, I just hit the gas pedal and shattered all these bones. And it turned out the surgery I had when I was 17, they hadn't put a spacer in my toe where they removed the bone. And it was a mistake that was done, unfortunately. And I was in a wheelchair and then on crutches for 2 years period of my life. And so at one point they were talking about having to amputate my foot. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I started asking, my loved ones and my pets and God and my loved ones, everyone on the other side, please help me to come up with the answer. And I happened to be at my chiropractor's one day, and she said, Sue, you can change this. That sugar will create your blood to become thicker. And so what was causing the pain was when I would have sugar all those years ago and it wasn't that much. It might have been like half a teaspoon at the very most in maybe every 4 days to twice a week. And that was preventing the blood from flowing through my foot. And I ended up by going and eating the way I'm telling you now to being so pure and healthy that I did not lose my foot. And I was able to walk within a matter of maybe a month after really walking. Like I started like with a limp a little bit off the crutches and a little bit of limp. And then within a month, I was like a normal person. So that's how food really played a huge impact on my journey, right? So can you imagine how much sugar are you having in your diet? Because I can guarantee it's really affecting you more than you know. And there's a lot of people addicted to that. All right. So, I mean, you're hearing me talking a lot right now about this sugar bit, right? But you need to know it is a very special important part of taking out of your diet if you truly want to become more intuitive. All right. The fact that I stopped it, was able to walk again, is pretty powerful, right? Okay, so that's, what you want to do. Now, another thing, the third thing I want to talk to you about is positive energy. So, think about who you are around and the places that you go. Okay, so if you are going to places where people are negative or there's a lot of anger or just negativity, you're going to absorb that. And if you've got a pet at home, your pet's going to absorb that. You're both going to get cranky or angry, right? And you'll wonder, like, I don't get any messages. It's because you've got this stuff in your body from others, right? So, if you're in a job and that's the case where you're around people like that, you want to make sure you definitely are getting movement because you want to clear that before, it gets more, and that you get home and give that to your pet, because it's going to be like a domino effect. You'll give it to your pet and your pet will give it to you, and then it'll be in your environment, in your space, and you don't want that, right? So you want to be mindful, when you can, where you go. Do you have people in your home? I don't. I have like 3 people that come in our home with my husband and I, because what happens when people come in my home, I can feel that energy. All right. And if I'm not careful, it would stay. So if I brought somebody in that was negative, that wouldn't be good for me. Now, one thing that I did many years ago was, and you can do this now, is at my front door, I asked 2 angels to come, and they had these jugs. Okay, so visualize this with me. They had these jugs full of healing love and good intentions. So when anyone came to my door, then I had these angels there and they were pouring love and good intentions on them. And the crazy part about that is that it actually stopped anyone negative coming to my house. And it actually stopped solicitors from coming to my house as well, because I didn't want to be bothered and, be interrupted with my work or my relaxation time or my quality time with my husband, enjoying nature and being in our backyard together, that kind of thing, right? So try it. Like, you ask two angels to come, be at your front door, have them put out the intention and ask them to, whoever comes to my front door, that they are coming, with love and good intention, and that these angels have these big jugs and they're pouring this on the people that come to your door. And the people that are positive and good energy for you, they will come, they will knock, they will come in, right? But the ones who aren't going to be able to handle that because their energy is not in that place, right? They won't come. They won't know why, but they just won't come to your house. And it's because you have put it out there that you've got two angels protecting the energy of your home, right? Cool, right? Energy, right? It's insane. So anyways, those are 3 things that I want you to think about. So, going back even, I started talking about, the eating. Another thing that I did, I started saying about you ladies, I went as far as to help me walk again. And this is, again, my intuition kept going higher. My frequency is going higher, constantly. And so the one thing that I did was, and I want you to consider this, is that look what you are putting on your body. Like, what is your, the creams you're putting on your faces? What are you using as your shampoos, your conditioners, your soaps, all this stuff, right? So for me, people ask, well, what shampoo do you use? Well, you want to look for, for me personally, because I didn't want the chemicals and that, right? So I got sulfite-free shampoo, and that's easy to find, all right? Makeup, I just learned today that I'm in Canada and America has this as well, and it's a makeup by Physicians Formula. And that's a makeup that is very, very good. I spent a lot of time with a lot of people who had the knowledge in makeup brands and was there chemicals in there. And I also went into our local drugstore, worked with Sheila, the great manager at our drugstore, and she's a great friend. And so we were even muscle testing if it was right for me, and the brands that she kind of would test me and throw one in. And it was like, no, it's like, good, that this is working because it had chemicals in it, she'd say. So I use Physician Formula makeup. And then for my cleanser, as well as the creams and eye cream, like all that kind of stuff that, you use, suntan protection, I use La Roche-Posay. And that's really good quality products. And if people are going through cancer, with skin cancer and that's what the dermatologists will make you use. Because when my husband went through skin cancer years ago, that's where we were first introduced to it. Then when I went through cancer, that was the company that we were told through the Cancer Society to use because it was a really good product. When you're going through chemo and all these different radiation and immunotherapy, it's really good because your skin really gets affected. Okay, so those are some things that you can do. So I'm really telling you this quickly because I want to also not make this an hour and a half talk, for the show. But, get started with that. And it doesn't sound like much I'm saying, but I know what the work you're going to have to put in because I've done it. And I'm going to tell you that when you do this, it's like you're setting yourself up to have such a better quality of life. And you're going to be pleasantly surprised at what comes out of this after you have shifted some things and not eaten some things and given up some foods and that. And you'll wonder, where's this energy coming from? I just have a lot of energy, and it's because of the quality foods and what I do. So what I want to do now is I want to go to the song, and I want you to just sit back and enjoy it. And then when we come back after that, I'm going to give you some tools on what you can do. So let's listen to the song, and then when I come back, I'll share some more. I'll see you soon.
I feel you with me in the quiet. the space between each breath, there's a knowing deep inside me. Even when there's nothing said, I don't need to try so hard now. I don't need to search or see. There's a softness in the silence where you're speaking back to me. I feel you, I hear you in ways I can't explain. It's not loud, it's not distant, it's a whisper. Separate from my heart now. You've been here all along, in the stillness, in the moment, in the place where we belong. I trust what comes so gently, even if it feels unclear, 'cause the love we share between us is the language I can hear. I feel you, I hear you in ways I can't explain. It's not loud, it's not distant, it's a whisper in my name. And the more I let go trying, the more I start to see you were never far away from me.
Welcome back. Okay, so let's get started. This part of the show, I want to give you some tools that you can use that will help you on your journey to develop or make your intuition be stronger. Okay, so one thing I like to tell everybody is the sun, the importance of sun. Okay, I tell you to, go out and walk and get out in sunlight. And the reason why I talk about the sun right now as a tool is because the sun is very healing for us. And you can take it to the next level and take your glass bottle of water, of healthy water, put it in the sunlight for a couple hours, and then drink that water. And what you're doing is you are drinking infused healing water from the sunlight, putting it into your body and into your cells, and that is very healthy for you. Now, it's very important to get yourself out in the sunlight because that is like clearing you. Have you ever heard of someone say, put your crystals in your windowsill in the full moon? That will clear the negative energy from them, correct? So the same thing goes for your body. When you're in sunlight, that will help to clear the negativity in your body. So that is a tool you can do to help with this. Now, another thing is to build your intuition. I like to encourage people to journal, because when you journal, a couple things happen. You can write down your experience you had, and then write your feelings about what happened. And then you might find in a day or week or later than that the same thing happens, but you've come to the realization that you weren't making it up, it's happening. And that's kind of giving you the confidence to know you are on track and that your intuition is in fact working with you. Okay, so you do that with your journaling, but also some people, when they put their pen to the paper, they will start writing and they're actually getting channeled automatic writing messages as they're writing. And I've had this happen many times for myself. In fact, when I was going through cancer and I was spending a lot of time out in the sunlight and in nature, I started singing. And my husband was like, Sue, where's this music coming from? And I didn't even know I was doing it. And so he said to me, it's really good. And so then I started writing down what was coming to me. And that album that I journaled just got published on 124 platforms this past Friday. So if you go to my website, asksuelondon.com, you'll see a link that says Healing Music. That is where you will find the album on Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon, and it shows those ones, and there's a lot of other links, but it's global. So that is what happened with me, and I didn't even know I had the ability to channel lyrics. So as you are being in the sunlight and in nature and this calm, present place and relax, you can develop even stronger abilities. And, I've been doing this for 40 years and I didn't know I could do that. But as you work on yourself and you heal yourself and you do everything like I'd said in the first part of the episode, that these things will develop and only have goodness come to you in unexpected ways for many things, okay? I want to encourage you to really journal. And I always say to people, write down what you're grateful for. 3-5 things in the morning, because when you focus on positivity and what you want to have, you are going to get that. So do 3-5 things in the morning when you wake up. And then before you go to bed, 3 to 5 things, put in your journal again. What was great about the day? We all have something to be grateful for if we choose. There's a lot of people that say, I've got nothing great happening in my life. And I'm like, you woke up this morning. That's something huge to be grateful for, right? So get your mindset. It doesn't have to be a massive thing that you're grateful for. It could be something so simple like the sun came out today. I have a roof over my head. I'm breathing, right? I have this beautiful pet, right? So anything that is simple, you've got food to give your family. You've got food in your fridge. Healthy drinking water. A lot of people in the world don't have that. Now, how can your intuition come to you? So this is where I want you to be mindful. And a lot of times I'm going to tell you to get out in nature in the sunlight, because why I say that is because there's not the distractions. Like if you're in your house, you could be looking around, go, oh, I gotta do the laundry now. Oh my gosh, I gotta do the dishes. Gotta get supper ready soon. Oh, the kids didn't make their bed or whatever, right? You're distracted by things around you. So when you are outside, that's where you're gonna have a better chance to be in the present moment. That's what I have found for myself anyways. When you're sitting out in quiet time, you can have thoughts. Now, when a thought comes to you, it's just not a quirky thing that just happened. There's a reason why that thought came, and you really want to pay attention to it. Like, for example, is it telling you to go to a store? Is it telling you to go now? Because if it is, you might have maybe in the morning said to your loved ones on the other side, your pets, hey, can you help me bring me this? So you put this intention out, and then hours later, you're having this thought you need to go somewhere. And they're going as far as saying, you need to go now. You're hearing this, and you're thinking, I'm just dreaming. I'm like hearing this. I don't believe it's happening. It is happening. And you want to get in and get to that place, whatever that is, because that could be the place where you're supposed to go to meet someone who's going to help you with what you asked for. But if you wait an hour or two, they might be gone and you've missed the opportunity. So many people miss this, and that's really important. So if you have a feeling you need to go somewhere, don't question it. Go with the flow and see what unfolds. And sometimes, you think you're going somewhere, get help. But a lot of times when you make this commitment that, you want to do better for the world, or you want to help someone heal, or you want to share your love, or make the world a better place or happier, what happens is our angels, God, your loved ones go, hey, you know what? They're ready to make the commitment. So I'm going to put them in this place, and someone else is needing help, and this is the person that's going to help them. You're the person that's going to help them. And there's not a greater feeling, like my husband says, and if you've seen my shows before or any of my talks, I always talk about my husband, Ross. And for a very long time, he would say, this is my adventure. This is my wife, my adventure. And they'd say, your adventure. And he'd say, yeah, I never know what we're going to be doing next, or where we're going to be going, or who we're helping. And I find that such an honor and such a beautiful thing that he says, because it is true. Every trip since I've met him 26 years ago, every trip has been a meant to be. And every trip, we have helped someone on that trip. It's like God and his angels are putting us in this place to help someone at the right time. And I always get messages when I meet somebody, and I just let it flow through me. And for many, many, many years as a child, I would question that, because people say, Sue, that's not possible. I mean, back in the 60s, I'm 63 now, so I was born in 62. Can you imagine me as a child? I'm saying, you can't go there. There's going to be an accident. And then people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. There'd be an accident. You may have a lot of people around you going, you can't do that. That's not right. You don't know this. But you do. And that's where I want you to trust. And when you're journaling and writing these things down happening, that's where you're going to build your confidence to know, hey, it really does happen. Okay? So trust yourself and be aware of your surroundings. So you want to watch your thoughts. You can have visions, and sometimes you have visions and you're wondering, well, where'd that come from? Well, it could be a message about your future. It could be about someone who you're going to meet. It could be that you need to go to this place and you might not know it, but if you see this place, you might go, I saw that in my dream. And then get curious and go in, and there's something important about that place for you. Don't question anything, okay? There's a reason why things happen. And the mistake that people are making is that this is happening for them, but they're thinking, it's not happening to me. I can't do this. But you can. If you're on listening to this now, there is a reason why you are listening to this podcast right now. And then you can have dreams, okay? Your pets, your loved ones, they will come in your dreams. They will show you things. They will tell you things. So if you're a person that dream a lot, have the paper beside you, and then first thing in the morning, get up and put it on there, like on paper. What stood out for you? What was the message? What did you see? That will guide you, and then you can take it a step further and then do a Google search and say spiritual meaning of this. I've had a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I kept dreaming I'm dying. And so what a lot of times dreaming of dying is about a new beginning, rebirth. Okay, so don't let your dreams scare you. This is all such amazing, miraculous, fun, like Ross says, adventurous things that, can be part of your life too. And I love my journey. I'm really grateful for the things that come and the people that come and the life lessons I've had, and being able to help someone is just incredible. And I want you to have that experience as well. And when your pet communicates with you, whether they're sitting in front of you or whether they are on the other side, it's such a beautiful gift to be able to experience. I say to my pet, who happens to be on my knee right now, Buddy, I will say to Buddy, when I'm working too hard or too long, give me a sign I need to stop, right? And he will come over to me and he'll paw on my leg. And I know that, oh my gosh, the time is gone. And I know that he's keeping his part of, our deal. He's watching my energy. He's feeling my energy. He feels me getting tired and he's, going, wait a minute, Mom, you're working too long. But somebody else might go, my dog keeps pawing my leg. He's annoying me, where your pet's trying to tell you to stop. You need to do something else. You need to regroup or get away from your computer or your technology, your Wi-Fi, whatever. Okay? So this is going to help you to be mindful of what is happening right in front of you. Each one of you watching this. I know there's a lot of people watching this thinking, this is not going to happen to me. It is. It is happening to you. And I'm going to say it again. You have to understand that when you have put this out, that you want to learn something, there's no coincidence in anything that's happening. There's no coincidence that you are coming to this podcast today when I just got a channeled message yesterday to create this exact topic. There are things happening on the other side to bring you answers. If you're not sure what you're supposed to do, you can ask them and then say, what am I supposed to learn or whatever. A lot of people come to me wanting to develop their intuition, and learning Reiki can do that. Now, I'm a Reiki master. When I first started Reiki, I was just going to take it because I wanted to learn how to do Reiki on my pets and my family and myself. And I ended up having a cleaning lady come to me after I had done my level 2. So the level 2, you learn how to send healing at a distance. And she said to me, I want to learn Reiki from you. And I said, I'm not a teacher. I don't teach. And I had, up until that point, sent probably 30 to 50 students to my teacher, and getting the message that from that situation that I had to start teaching. And then here comes this cleaning lady, and I said, I don't teach. And she goes, I'm not doing Reiki training then. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're missing out so much. And I'm trying to tell her, like, I'll help you find a teacher. And she goes, no, it has to be you that teaches me. So again, do you see how that was meant to be for me to kick it up? So I've gone on to teaching it, but when you take Reiki training, it builds your intuition. It makes your frequency go higher. So I'm not making this whole podcast about that. I just want you to know that that is an option to you. And it might be right for you, it might not. Some people have taken Reiki thinking that, well, they were just taking it to help their family, like I did. And I never had any idea that I would turn it into a big business and use it in so many forms of everything that I do. Like, I write music now, and I infuse the Reiki into that. And I'm teaching, and I'm helping a lot of people with the training that want to go on, and they're going on now, and they're helping a lot of people that are sick with cancers and children with illnesses and so much. So I feel like it's such a gift for me, and I'm grateful to that cleaning lady that I had, because I have been the missing piece for some people, that they're now fulfilling their destiny of having someone sick in their family, and now they're helping many people with illnesses because they understand that themselves, right? So everything is interconnected here. I hope that something that I have said here today to you is going to help you on your journey. If there's only one thing I can say to you, is that when you start trusting what is happening in your mind, what you feel, or the coincidences, or someone says, I have this book you have to read, and you read it, and you're like, I was just looking for that. Okay, there are things happening for you and to you to help you to grow to new levels. And once you can focus on the journey as an adventure instead of, the negative news and the angry person, this is where shifts are going to happen more in the world. And right now, we need to come together and create positive shifts because our planet's really feeling this. Our pets are really feeling the negative energy. People are saying more and more they're more tired. It's because it's negative energy they're feeling. I know that if you are here listening to this, there is a reason. And if you've been ever wondering how you can build your intuition, I'm here to tell you that you've got it. You just have to develop it. And these few simple things that I have told you, it's that easy. I'm not going to say you're going to do it overnight because as you heard me say, I talked about diet. Some people can't change that overnight. Some people have an addiction to sugar or different foods. And, you've got to be responsible when you're, dealing with addictions, right? So I hope that something I've said is going to help you. My website address, once again, is asksuelondon.com. I want to encourage you to go there, check out the album, and you can see where it is on Spotify and all the different places. And then check out the Reiki training if that interests you. It may or it may not, but it's there as an option for you. And there's a lot of information on there. Insight Timer, I create channeled music and frequencies and meditations, guided and music for you and your pets. So check all that out. And that's again at my website, asksuelondon.com. Now, we've had a very packed, informative show, I'm hoping, for you today. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being such a great soul and for having the interest to learn things like what I'm sharing and for being a part of this community. I appreciate the love, your kindness. I love your emails that you send me. And I just want you to know, together in our world, it's just one person can start a ripple effect. And I know that you're a very special person yourself. So don't ever doubt your abilities, because when you start believing in yourself, that's when the magic begins. Okay? So I'm Sue London, and I want to wish you much love and many blessings. And I'll see you again next week. Have a great week.